Ryan Spaniker with Cooper Cornia, Athletic Director at Rich High School. Cooper, thanks for your time again today.
You bet, Ryan. It's good to be with you.
Let's talk football first. Milford was in town Friday night, defending state champs. They graduated a lot of guys, but the younger guys have stepped right up, and they look just as good, if not better, than they did last year.
Yeah, they've got a lot of speed, and I was impressed with their offensive and defensive line. That's a really good team, and they'll be right there to win another state championship again, in my opinion.
Let's break it down a little bit more. You guys in the first quarter held them to just one touchdown. They came alive in the second quarter, scoring on all three of the drives, all three possessions that they had in the second quarter. What was the difference from first to second quarter?
You know, honestly, and maybe I'm up in the night, but I think they kind of came in and overlooked us somewhat. We had the quarterback, running around, and we were getting after him that first quarter, and then they took a timeout, and you could see that they were getting a pretty good awakening over there from their coach, and then I think they realized that maybe we were a little better than they thought we were going to be. And then on a couple of those drives in the second quarter, we had some big penalties that hurt us and set them up to score.
Touch on, what's your take, that final play that you guys had, that scoring play that, you're down 44-0 and you get the ball back. And I think the thought was, at least from my perspective, Rich is just going to take a knee or maybe run a running play and end the game out. But you guys had different plans.
Yeah, I think Coach Grohl just recognized that we needed to have something positive to take away from that. And even though it didn't make a difference to the outcome of the game, I think it just kind of gave the kids a better feeling to end the game, knowing that at least we hadn't been shut out.
This week, your opponent, you're at Parowan, and they're not at least last year they weren't the finesse and speed that Milford is, but boy, they'll just line up and punch you in the mouth. Smash mouth, strong football team.
Yeah, and it's the same way this year. They run a lot of double tight and some over formations, and they're just going to run good old-fashioned option at you. And if you don't take away the dive back, they're just going to give it to him 10 times in a row. So just like you said, they're going to run right at you and try to run you over.
Is that something that's easier to prepare for or more difficult, where you know what's coming, you just have to stop them from executing?
I think it's easier to prepare for, but it's not necessarily easier to stop. Sometimes even though you know where it's going, if they've got the horses to run it, it's pretty tough to stop somebody that wants to just run you over. Last year they had their fullback was really, really good, and that gave us trouble. Their backs this year are good. They've got a big, strong quarterback, so stopping that option is going to be a pretty good task this week as well.
Let's move on and touch on the volleyball team. The Rebels, something happened last week that hasn't happened in 30-plus years, I think, a loss in region play.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we lost a region game. That was an impressive streak that Coach Stewart had going, and a great streak for the Rebels. Stuff just happens, I think we're still kind of trying to find our identity and who we are, and then ICS is an improved team. Not to take anything away from them. They're a good team.
That sets up a couple of interesting things. This Thursday, the Rebels at Tabiona, so that's that makes that match much more critical. And then, of course, in a few weeks, ICS will be at Rich, so that really makes things a lot more interesting in region play for the volleyball team.
It does. You never want to lose a region game, and you definitely don't want to lose two region games. So it's important that the girls go out and have a good trip out at Tabiona.
The drill team, the cheer squad, both look great at halftime on Friday night. They're dancing and doing their thing. They're coming along great. Anything else you want to touch on, Cooper?
No, just best of luck to the volleyball team this week and the boys as well as they go visit Parowan.
It is a full weekend for the volleyball team. Thursday night at Tabiona. Friday they'll stay down in the basin for Duchesne, and then Saturday at Westside.
Yeah, so, three good opponents all on the road. It's another big weekend for the volleyball team.
Cooper Cornia, Athletic Director at Rich High School. I appreciate your time, Cooper. Good luck to the Rebels this week.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.